Money. Whether we have it or we don't, it's a source of many arguments, especially for couples. So according to Bankrate's latest report, more than 43% of U.S. adults believe keeping financial secrets is at least as bad as physical infidelity. And almost half of couples in committed relationships admit they don't know everything about their spouse's or partner's finances.
Bankrate senior industry analyst Ted Rossman explains how hidden debt and money blind spots can put finances at risk. So Ted, good to see you.
Good to be here.
So you took a look at this financial infidelity from a financial expert's perspective. So first, I guess, explain what financial infidelity is and why it is so important in a relationship.
We're talking about secret spending, secret debt, secret savings. The secrets really hurt.
Yeah.
It undermines trust. It makes you wonder what else you're missing. And also, let's face it, it's hard enough to meet your financial goals when you're working together. It's so much harder if people are each doing their own thing.
Yeah, what are some of the financial secrets that some couples are committing?
Some of the really harmful ones are debt. If you have a lot of secret credit card debt, or maybe it's even something from your past, like student loans that you haven't disclosed. Secret spending can be a problem. Communication is really the fix here. We want to be better about talking about money. You may agree that you and your spouse each have some money that you can have that's yours and yours alone. That can actually be very healthy if you agree on the parameters. So maybe you can spend up to $50, no questions asked, or maybe you have a certain amount every month or every paycheck. You have to agree on the front end, though. You can't just each be doing your own thing and hope that it's going to work out for the best.
Yeah, you talk about identifying to get to that point, but also having shared goals along the way. What are the shared goals?
Well, that's a good way to get pulling in the same direction.
Okay.
So maybe you want to buy a house in the next few years. Maybe you want to pay off debt. Maybe you want to take a great vacation or help your kids go to college. Whatever you're working towards, frame things in the affirmative. So it's not so much a budget as a way to deny things and say, well, we can't have this, we can't have that. It's better to be working towards something. Be intentional about your money. Try to save on the front end. If you try to save what's left at the end of the month, there might not be anything left.
So we have a friend that actually he and his wife meet on a regular basis and they talk about finances. They look at their goals. Where are we? How do, what do we want to do the next, what's our next goal? Maybe there's a vacation, et cetera. So why is it so important to have that safe space then to talk about it? Because you might not always agree that that's what you want to spend money on.
Right. Money is one of the leading sources of conflict in a relationship. Sadly, it leads to a lot of breakups and divorces. I love that idea of having a money date maybe once a month. I like talking about money. Not everybody does, so I admit that. But make it casual. Maybe pour your favorite beverage, set a timer, make it 15 minutes. You don't need to be overly formal about this. And then it should get easier over time. You want to get in the habit of talking about money.
Yeah, what's the baseline, right? Is it being upfront from the beginning with this is what my take home is every paycheck? Okay, now let's divide it up from there into buckets of what's going to go where.
That sounds good. Yeah, we're talking here about people that are married, they're otherwise living with a partner. This isn't like a first or second date conversation.
Yeah.
This is later on.
What's your take home? Right.
This is more for established couples. So we really do need to get in the habit of sharing those things. Salary, debt, savings, goals, spending is a big one. I really do think this yours, mine, and ours thing can work for a lot of people because we like to have some independence with our money. But yet we also need to work towards shared goals. So maybe that's an option. Maybe you set aside a few $100s every month that's yours and yours alone, or maybe the amount's higher, maybe it's lower. You need to figure out what works for you, but you have to have that conversation.
In theory, it sounds great. But what if one person in the couple is a huge spender and just frivolously buys luxury items they don't need, and then the other one is the saver? How do you reach that common ground?
Opposites do often attract. It's interesting how that happens. Or sometimes you have one person who does the day-to-day bills and someone else who's more into the investments and the long-term stuff. It really does come back to communication and just figuring out where to draw that line. And a lot of times people are spending in secret because they're ashamed or they don't think the other person's going to approve. Try to come at this from a positive place about what are we trying to get to? Like if we want to take that vacation next year, maybe we rein in the spending a little bit now, but we have a payoff at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah. All right, Ted, good advice here. Hopefully it works and saves some marriages. And